So, folks, continuing on this evening's session, we have got the great Marion Waldron with us. Marion, good to see you. We
Phil?
have been chatting for the past couple of weeks,
We
a
have
couple of
indeed,
months,
yeah.
and it's an absolute pleasure to get sitting down and get you pinned down and go from there and have a bit of crack and have a bit of a story as to where it all came from. So, Marion, where did it start?
For me, it started like everybody tonight. You know, the stories are from childhood. Really, you get some inspiration or whatever. And mine started probably 11. You know, I started singing at that point. Well, probably younger because my mother used to teach us songs. One of my earliest recollections is an old Irish song of called Kate and Pat McGee. It was a put on your army breeches and your coat of emerald green, yeah. Take off that hat, me darling Pat, put on your old capine. So I remember that being taught to me as a kid, and used to sing that, and then because we grew up listening to Irish country and folk and ballads, so it was there, it was instilled in you, and you know, I played instruments as well at the time, so I was in school choir, I was in the band, I was in the orchestra, so it was there. I always had a musical influence and loved music, and I loved singing. So it went from there really, and gradually went on to discover when I went to America, because we didn't have it in England or Ireland, or probably in Europe at the time. Karaoke had just made a big thing in the States. So I got to sing on this karaoke, and I thought it was the best thing ever. Because I thought I was Madonna at the time.
Up on the stage and the lights going and everything.
So it started. That was really the first time you could ever get on a stage without having a band or being an artist of some kind, and experiencing it from there. So, and it was a good confidence builder actually, to get you used to being on a stage with a microphone and singing. And I went through the mill of being a backing singer in different bands, and they became a lead singer in different bands, and but Irish country was always there in the background.
Always in the
So
background.
I did blues, and I did covers and originals and stuff like that. So
And Irish country obviously then was the love, and that's where then your passion.
yeah, it was always my go to. It just is. It's there, you know, and it wasn't cool when we were kids, but it's just something it's a genre I do love, genuinely love, and you know.
Obviously, I'm 31, 32. When I was 15 or thereabouts, when you're going back 15 years, if you've been listening to Hugo Duncan or if you've been listening to any Irish country, you'd have been frowned upon.
He's taking the mick out,
But now it's really starting to.
It's great, great to
jiving
see these
scene's
kids
coming
jiving.
on.
It's brilliant. I mean, I love seeing that they actually can dance.
Yeah.
Because we had all of that, and then it skipped a generation, and it's lovely to see, and it's bringing the music to life. Actually,
It is.
You know,
I would say sadly that the dance hall days are sadly over.
Yeah.
But definitely in regards to the jiving and the new upcoming artists at the moment, is absolutely brilliant to see that bit of a rejuvenation to the Irish music, and long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And long may it continue. So obviously you're from Manchester.
I am.
And that has obviously an awful large Irish tendency and population. What way have you been received over in the mainland? What way have you found it?
I'm Irish descent, so my parents are from the West, County Mayo. So we spent most of our time over here in every holiday and everything. The Irish community in Manchester, they're a great support. They've certainly supported me in various different ways, whether it's been charity work or new singles or whatever. When I brought my first EP album out, I wasn't really sure where that was going to go, if it was going to go anywhere or how it was going to be received. But the Irish community really did get behind me on that, right. And I closed the Manchester Irish parade opening with the mayor with that album, my launch night. To 1,000 people, and I actually hadn't sang for, I think it was about 9 years in public at that point. So they're great. They do get behind me and everything. In terms of where you can gig, sadly, it's a declining market in terms of venues.
Yeah,
they're
all shutting up.
Whereas you could have had a pick of 6, 7, 8 of them at one point. You know, we've got one left, I think, in Manchester now, really, the Irish World Heritage Centre, which I did play a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Did a gig there. So
it's always great to come home. It's always
yeah, I have to say they probably work more outside of home than I do in home. So yeah.
So Marion, obviously, this singing was going really, really well. Songwriting, then they started to come in, and I knew when we spoke previously, then that the very first one was about your mother.
Yes, my Irish mother. Yeah, that was my
mother.
first co-write. Yeah, with B.G. Pollock, who is from Belfast.
Yes.
So we're in the county down here at the minute, so it's not a million miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my first attempt at writing, and since then, when I was in Canada last year with Tomas, and we were hosted by Dan Washburn, being around such creativity, you thrive off that, and you know, it gives you some kind of an inspiration. You can't describe it almost, really, and yeah, you can tap into something that's there that you can't really get at home. It's too busy. You've got to be away, and you know, I think the creativity kind of flowed more, certainly with us all, because there was music every day, there was instruments being played, you know, Seamus, Tomas, Dan, Jerry even on his piano or whatever. It was happening all the time, so it was great.
And
you
it's
know.
definitely a fantastic co-write.
Yeah, well, and you know, hopefully the start of a few more.
Yes.
I've got another one coming on the new album, which I haven't finished yet, and in fact today another new song came from our Mr. Washburn.
Well.
So another original actually with Caroline Liberto. Is that how you say it, Liberto? Liberto, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah,
So I know Dan is going to help out here. Okay. Yeah. He's going to play the guitar, and we are going to have our first song from yourself then this evening, Marion.
We are.
What is it, and what's the background?
This is the song. It's a cover, and it was first done by oh gosh, Dan, help me out. I can't remember her name. Tanya Tucker. Thank you. On the tip of my tongue, Tanya Tucker. And again, it was a song I loved as a kid, and I always wanted to cover it. I always wanted to do it. So I released this last year. Yeah, I did my version of it. So this is the acoustic version. Never done before, so bear with us.
Well, first time for everything,
Yeah.
folks. So, Marion, I'll let you and Dan Washburn take it away.
Thank you. What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? Does she ever talk about a place called New Orleans? Has she ever mentioned a man named Rupert Wilson? What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? 30-some-odd years ago, a young man came to Memphis, asking about a rose that used to blossom in his world. And people never took the time to mind the young man's questions, until one day they heard him ask a little green-eyed girl, what's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? Does she ever talk about a place called New Orleans? Has she ever mentioned a man named Buford Wilson? What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? 20-some-odd years ago, a drunkard down in Memphis lost a month of life and labor to the county jail, just because he asked a little green-eyed girl a question and offered her a nickel's worth of candy if she'd tell. What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? Does she ever talk about a place called New Orleans? Has she ever mentioned a man named Buford Wilson. What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? A year and some odd days ago, an old man died in Memphis. Just another wayward soul the county had to claim. Inside the old man's ragged clothes, they found a faded letter. It said, you have a daughter, and her eyes are Wilson Green. What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? Does she ever talk about a place called New Orleans? Has she ever mentioned a man named Buford Wilson? What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? Does she ever talk about a place called New Orleans? Has she ever mentioned a man named Buford Wilson? What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? What's your mama's name, child? What's your mama's name? Woo.
That was absolutely fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. And Dan, first time.
We didn't even rehearse it. We literally just done that now, right now.
And that explains what true musicianship is, really. So, Marion, obviously playing in the clubs and everything over and doing the songwriting, okay. What is on the cards then next for yourself?
So I think the guys have said this week has been about, our collaborations really, and also planning our tour to Canada and States. So, working on the format and what music we're going to do together. And really, we got to plan that for next year. You've got to plan it quite a hard way in advance. So there's that. Also finishing off my album. So really pleased there's another song to go on that today. So I'm back in the studio next week.
Perfect.
And I've got a new single coming out in September also.
Perfect.
So,
and I think I remember speaking previously, there's one coming out Christmas as well.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I've got a Christmas song coming out, and also written by somebody we all know, Dan Washburn.
Yep.
He's going to write it for everybody. But this song, the Christmas song, is, for me, it was, we were driving along the road in Canada, you remember this, and we were playing a lot of his music because he's written so many songs. He's got a catalogue of like 300 songs, and because we had hours of driving between places, he just played this song, and it was like somebody punched you in the stomach, and I just started bawling. And I just started bawling, and it was like, oh my God. It was one of those songs. So it took me a while to be able to even compute that, really, because it's the message that you feel, but you've got to transcend that then in how you sing it. So I'm looking forward to that release. I've never actually, I did one release for Christmas, but not an actual Christmas song, and this is truly about Christmas.
Good.
The other side of Christmas
The
that
other side of
people,
Christmas.
that people don't always want to talk about,
Well, that's the true meaning of Christmas, then, if we can call it that way.
Would that be right, Dan? Yeah.
Especially people that are around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And that, folks, obviously is what true songwriting is. Music can either make you or can break you.
Yeah.
And if you can get a song, and if you can resonate with it and think, oh, I remember that, or I remember a time in my life when that has happened, and you can pinpoint that to a song, that is in essence of an absolute phenomenal songwriter.
Yeah, and the song that I've got coming out in September, again, for me, there was two songs that got me. That one was the Christmas song, and the next one was this one. And I think I said to you when we were chatting.
Yeah.
I've not done the final vocals on it because I've actually not been able to get through the song. It's for me, it really is quite emotional.
And that's one that we're definitely.
And it's whether or not somebody else feels that, but there's always going to be somebody it resonates with.
If you only have
you know.
to touch one person,
Yeah.
that's all. And if you can put a smile on their face and a spring in their step, that's all you need to do, man.
And I think if you get a reaction from music or a song that you hear, whether it's the hair stand up on the back of your neck or you get goosebumps, I think it's something. It's telling you something, isn't it?
It's telling the story, and it's knowing you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Marion, as always, love, it's been absolutely great to
Thank
have
you very
on.
much. Thank you, Philip.
And won't be the last year.
No, hope not.
Definitely not. So, Marion, I think you and Dan are going to do another week.
We are going to do
collaboration
another
here.
acoustic, and we've not rehearsed this one either. So,
Not a thing wrong with it. And I think everyone's going to know this one. So I think.
well, yeah. I hopefully they will. This again is. This isn't my version of it. We're going to do an acoustic version of it, but it's a very, very well-known song.
Yeah.
It's Country Roads. It's probably my most played song, actually, on the streaming platforms or radio, and most watched videos. So that Country Roads and Isle of Hope are my two top songs that are
That's
played.
another very good one. You're done. Very, very good. So, folks, this is our Marion Walden with Country Roads.
Thank you. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round me. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, playing it on the sky. A misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear his voice in the morning as he calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Those country roads, take me home. Those country roads.